Well, there it was, the dreaded slice. Are you having trouble with slicing? Are you tired of living in the right-hand woods and the right rough on the golf course? Well, you've come to the right place, because in this video, I'm going to show you why you slice. I'm going to give you a drill that you can do at home that will help solve this problem and start to change your golf swing so you can hit a draw or a straight ball. I'm going to show you 2 practice stations that you can use when you go to the driving range to help fix this problem. And lastly, and maybe most important, I'm going to give you the mental hurdles to overcome to fix this slice. And yeah, there are some mental issues with fixing the slice that I have my students. It's very difficult for them to overcome. So you want to make sure you stay around to the end and hear that part. So let's jump right into this. So the first thing we have to understand is why we slice, okay? And there's 2 components to a slice, and every slicer does both of these components. First component is they have a swing path that is what we would call out to in, or too much from the outside of the ball back to the inside of the ball, moving to the left. And the second component is they have a club face that's open. Now, these 2 components, a path that is out to in and a face that is open to the path, put the side spin on the ball that make it curve. Now, if you had a path that was out to in and your face was square to the path, you'd hit that dead pull. And that's what happens to a lot of you slicers a lot of time is every now and then on the golf course, you've aimed yourself way left to allow for the slice, you square that club face up and you hit a pull. It puts you in big time trouble to the left too. So it's kind of a double whammy here. If you had an outside to in path with a club face that was closed to the path, you'd hit a smother hook. So we don't ever really know what came first. Was it the over the top out to in path, or was it the open face? The 2 go hand to hand. It's kind of chicken or the egg. It really doesn't matter which one came first. We're going to have to fix them both. And I've had the most success in my teaching of fixing the path first and then fixing the club face. So let me show you that at-home drill that you can do that will start to fix the path of this and teach you the proper motor skill to get that club shaft on plane. So this first drill is a great drill for you to do at home. And if you saw my latest video that I posted about my #1 practice technique, we're going to utilize that technique for your home practice. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to go back and check it out. Watch it before you even start this video. But the technique is just making rehearsal swings slowly, okay? And in these rehearsal swings, we want to make sure that we are doing what it is that we want to do. So here's the drill. Just get yourself at home. It's really, really nice if you put a mirror back behind you, but I don't have a mirror out here today. And just make back swings very slowly. Get yourself to the top of the backswing and then feel your golf club head drop back behind you a little bit. And as you feel that club starting to drop behind you, let your arms start to lower, okay? This motion is going to put that golf club back on the swing plane, okay? And you can even exaggerate this motion while you're at home. Exaggerating it is going to give you more of the feel of what we are trying to do. So again, just stay at home, lots of repetitions of that motion right there. Now, if you want to add a little bit more to it, as you're dropping your arms, allow your body to unwind, okay? This will then let you see how that golf club approaches the ball from the inside, okay? And the last part of this little at-home drill is you want to make sure that club face is getting square when you come back to impact, okay? So little slow backswing up to the top, let the club drop behind me, lower my arms, unwind my body, let that left arm rotate a little bit so that club face gets square. Now let me show you one that we can do at the golf course. So here's my first practice station that you can set up at the driving range to help solve this over the top problem, okay? I'm using 3 alignment sticks. The first stick I have laying on the ground, and I hope y'all can see that. And I've got that alignment stick just aimed at the red flag out there on the driving range. Always make sure that you are aiming that stick at a target. The second stick I have stuck in the ground, just slightly outside of my target line. I'm giving myself a little room here for error, so won't hurt myself here. But I've got this stick set in the ground at about the angle that that my shaft comes out of my club head. I'm using, what am I using here? 7-iron today, okay? And I will put my golf ball just inside my target line stick. Now, the third stick that I have in the ground, I have out here. And this stick is right on my target line. And this stick is going to be a stick that I will be able to judge the starting line of my golf ball. It's very important that we know the starting line. So here's how we would do this drill. I'm going to get set up to my golf ball. In my swing, my golf club needs to travel under this slanted stick. You over the top people would come above it. So you want to come under this stick behind us on the backswing and downswing. And then I'm going to hit the golf ball, feeling like my club is swinging a little bit to the right so that my ball starts to the right of that stick out there. Now, if you wanted to use a tee when you were doing this and teed that ball up maybe 1/4 of an inch, that wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. But I'm going to do it right off the ground. So here we go. Little swing back under the stick, couple rehearsals. Nice and easy. And then start my ball to the right of the stick that's on the ground, okay? I'm not real interested here that I'm making a full swing. Matter of fact, I would rather you not make a full swing. I definitely don't want you going full speed, okay? But everything is just very slow, very conscious about my surroundings here and where all these sticks are. Well, here's my second practice station that you can use when you get to the driving range. I've left the alignment stick on the ground because, again, I always think you should hit golf balls with an alignment stick down there. Just doesn't make any sense not to. I've taken an empty basket of balls and I have put it just barely to the outside of the target line where my golf ball's sitting. So it's actually sitting on top of the alignment rod, okay? I want that basket to feel like it's in my way, okay? And now again, I am going to make some slow, easy swings, and my job is to miss the basket. If I come over the top or I get too vertical, I'm gonna hit that basket, okay? And trust me, you don't want to keep hitting that basket. It gets tiresome going out there and trying to retrieve it but in between every single shot. So I've got my alignment, my basket's in the way. Now I got to miss the basket. Okay? Great job. Great job. Okay, here we go. Let's do one more. Okay, basket's in the way. Get my alignment. Miss the basket. That ball was dead straight. Now, as you start hitting balls using these practice stations, I don't want you to worry if your golf ball is just going right and staying out there to the right. That's actually a pretty good sign. that means that the path of the swing is starting to come more from in to out. And what's happened is you haven't learned to square the club face up yet. And I'm going to talk about squaring the club face in just 1 second. But if you are standing in here hitting shots, your goal is to miss the stick and to miss the bucket. We're changing the path of your golf swing first, okay? So again, if that ball hangs out there to the right, I don't want you to worry about it. We'll deal with that with the club face. So let's fix the club face. Well, now that y'all have the path of the club moving in a better direction, more in to out, we need to discuss the club face. And we need to understand what part of the body controls the club face. And it's the lead wrist. So for us righties, it's our left wrist. For you lefties, it's your right wrist. Now, before I get into that wrist motion, you better make sure that you've got a really good grip in that left hand for us righties, or right hand for you lefties. My guess is typically that it's going to be in the palms of your hand. So you've got to make sure that you've got that grip in your fingers, that that thumb is slightly right of center. Let me get in here a little closer. That we've got that grip in our fingers. That thumb is slightly right of center. There's no gap between our thumb and our forefinger. And that V that we just created right there points to our right shoulder. So that's number one. Make sure that left hand is on the club properly. Okay, now let's talk about the wrist motion. So I said that the left wrist, for us right-handed golfers, all you lefties are just going to have to turn this around now. That left wrist is what's in control of the club face. Well, that left wrist in the golf swing needs to stay flat through impact, okay? That left wrist also rolls with the forearm, okay? So a lot of y'all that are trying to square that club face up are doing it with the right hand, and a lot of times that throws that club face open. So I'm going to show you a little drill that you can do at home without a club to start to really get a good feel for what this left wrist does. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get set up in your address position. I want you to put your hands down here, palms facing each other. I don't want you to put them together. I want you to keep them apart, okay? And I want your thumbs to kind of stick out a little bit. This is going to be a little guide for us here. Now, I just want you making little motions halfway back and halfway forward here. And here's what we want to see. Halfway back, I'm going to use my pivot. I want my hands to stay facing each other, and I want my thumbs to point a little bit to the sky, okay? So really, I'm not doing a whole lot with my hands. It's just my body is rotating. Now, as I come back to impact, I need to make sure that the back of my left wrist is facing my target. And notice my hands are staying the same distance apart. Excuse me, I've got a bug on me. My hands are staying the same distance apart throughout this entire drill. Now, once I've gotten back to impact, I want to go to the follow through, and I want you to start letting your hands rotate. Now, the back of my left wrist is facing the ground. My right palm is still facing my left palm, okay? So you can just stay around the house feeling that little motion right there. Get a good feel for how that left arm rotates and how your arms move with the pivot, okay? Everything is done together, okay? Now, let's apply that to the golf ball with the club. So now the club is going to travel down to the ball from the inside. Our left arm rotates as my body rotates, and I'm keeping that left wrist flat. So let's see if we can put the two pieces together. I've still got my bucket on the ground, okay? Just outside the target line with my golf ball. Okay, I want to miss the bucket in my swing, and I want to feel my left arm rotate as I come through the ball. Beautiful, right on line. Now, I wouldn't mind y'all standing out here and exaggerating this a little bit, and almost to the point of where you start hitting a hook, because it's very easy then to calm that hook down. So I'm going to let my left wrist rotate a little bit more here. Hitting a hook. That's giving me the feel and the sensation of what my left wrist is supposed to do in the golf swing. So there you have it. There's the mechanics of how to fix your slice. You've got to have a really good left hand grip. You have to have a swing path that goes more in to out, and you have to have a club face that is square and or rotating a little bit closed so you can hit a draw. Now let's talk about the mental side of this and why this is so difficult for golfers to fix. And here's the answer. Every single one of you that slices, you absolutely hate seeing your golf ball go to the right. It drives you crazy. And in order to keep that golf ball from going to the right, I've already discussed, we've got to swing out there to the right. And your brain doesn't want to do it. You start to make that swing that's more inside to out, and your brain starts sending you warning signals going, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, I don't want the ball going over there. I'm trying to fix that one. And your brain's going to make you start coming over the top again. So this is why back when I said earlier in the video, if you start off fixing the path and your ball is going to the right, you can't worry about it. You have to look at that as a success, that, hey, I'm fixing my path. Because you've got to fix that path first. You're not going to fix that face first and then fix the path. It's just not going to work that way. It doesn't work that way as well. So it's very difficult for people to fix that swing, fix the slice, because they hate seeing their ball go to the right. But you might have to live with your ball going a little to the right at the beginning here until you get very comfortable with that new swing path. And then once you get that swing path, then you can concentrate on the face of the club, which then will get your ball back on line or having a little bit of a draw. I would love to thank y'all for coming in here and watching this video with me. I know there's tons of videos out there about how to fix your slice. I hope this one gave you a little more information that's going to help you. Drop me a comment below. Let me know if this helps. If you've been a long-time slicer and this helps you out, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button down there.